All right, we live. Give me just a second, man. I'm gonna go over here, that Facebook thing, and let me throw some of these things up here real quick. You probably gonna have to prove that live group sent Sean off in their group now. Oh, you done put it in there already, Seeing Sean.
Two.
Okay. Well, shoot, I'm finna exit out of here. So you done put it in. Gonna ask you to share no more, man. I ain't want you back in Facebook jail no more.
Seeing Sean. Yeah, we good.
Okay. Let me put him. I'm finna put it in two more groups. Our group and Asylum Car group. Okay. All right. I'm gonna put two more groups, man. We gonna go and rock it out. I'm trying to remember. Alright. What about I'm a rock squad, seeing you put it in there. If not, I'm already on the website. I'm finna go ahead and copy and paste.
Then
Huh? Nin?
Then
I got you. Throw it in there now.
Hey, what you doing?
I'm live, son. Trying to remember what's the name group, man. His last group, bro. And I'm trying to remember his group. Dang. I saw that I don't know, is it Heckam? I don't know if that now I forgot what I can't never remember the name of it. Hold on. Oh, yeah, that's it right there. Praises of the divine. Alright, that's the last one. I ain't got no doing no more. Alright. Let me go. And I'm here. Alright. I'm here. Ooh, let me turn it down. Alright. You well, we finna go and get started, man. And those come on in. We got right now. Those who come on in, lag in four, they climbing now. So, all right. The show. I mean, with the what's the name? Hold on one second. Let me share my screen. Is my screen showing saying Sean?
See you.
All right.
Roll.
All right.
Himself is the superb and supreme picture of creation. When man becomes possessor of the knowledge of himself, he becomes master of his environment, and captain of his own ship, the director of his own destiny, the accomplisher of his own ends. Man should understand himself because man is full of knowledge, and this knowledge is a gift of nature. When Mother Nature created man, she deprived him of nothing. He was given the faculty of understanding all things around him. This faculty for understanding has not been taken away from him. None of his senses have been taken away from him. So there is no excuse for the black man. I'm bridging my team, red, black, and green, queens and kings, salute, now scream, I should bring proper understanding. I should find from a different victory. I'm ripping my team, red, black, and green, queens and kings, salute, now scream, I should bring proper understanding. I should find from a different victory. I should.
I'm trying as family. I'm always trying to incorporate in my shows now. One of our ancestors. So I'm going to incorporate the Hotep Dina suit from to our national ancestor Khalid Muhammad. Hotep Dina suit Wasir Neb Jadu Netcha A Neb Abju DF per Hinket Ka Apet Sesh Menket Het Nebet Neferet Wabet Anket Inka In Imaku Khalid Muhammad Makoru, which give Osar, Lord of Jadu, great God, Lord of Albidos, so that he may give a verbal offering in beer, bread, ox fowl, alabaster, linen, everything good and pure in which a God lives. For the Ka of the revered ones, Khalid Muhammad, justified or true of voice. And here is the sesh, the transliteration, the translation at the bottom. Well, you got the top here. That's what I just read. I just read the translation. But here's the sesh at the top. Okay. Let me stop sharing my screen. All right. Today, family, we got I got my brother on the show today, Ini Haret Sean Calfunny. He's gonna be doing a presentation today. First I want to say ETM Hotep, Dua Duau, Rini Kofi Paisai, Dua Netcha, Fatmu Iwa Pele, Fatmu Alafie, Majube Odemari, Majube Oderan, Egungun Kiki. So basically, I said, welcome in peace. My name is Kofi Paisai Divine. Welcome in peace, which I just said, but also bring forth peace. So we want to bring forth peace, on this channel, and bring forth. I said, bring forth good character, because I always have to state this: bring forth good character. We're going to continue to call ourselves African people or African descent, our Pan-Africanist. Our culture exhibits good character. So without further ado, I want to introduce my brother John Calfunny.
Duasini, Hotel family. I appreciate you guys tuning in today. Appreciate Kofi for the opportunity to be able to present on this channel. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here and to be in front of the people today. Memory of two little cousins that I lost. I hope to serve a purpose for our family and everybody else looking to in our lives. So, however, whenever you're ready, Kofi, you just let me know. I'll go ahead and get my screen shared and we can tackle it. So I don't know how many people are with the Ejagham people. elaborate on the lifestyle and the culture of the Ejagham people.
Okay. Well, yeah, you can go ahead and
Kofi,
go. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
click on my screen.
I got you locked in. It's loading. I see it's loading.
Okay. All right. So just let me know. I'm trying to check and see if we're able to see it on the.
Yeah, I can see it on my other device as well. It's broadcasting.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right
So I got
into it, man. Without further ado. Cool. So the Ejagham people live closely to the Ibibio and the Igbo people of southeastern Nigeria. They were good at picking yams, plantains, and maize, corn, and the women and men both did fishing. All right, so just a little brief synopsis about who they are before we really dive into who these people really are. Now, why are we even going to talk about them? The culture of these particular people are unique, for one, and two, hopefully it can open the doors into further study about the Ejagham secret societies, which they are well known for. Ejagham people are one of three subgroups in Cameroon/Nigeria area. Dispensed are populated area, rainy forest, streams, oceanic. All right. Now they call this particular region the Cross River region. In the early 16th century, where European kidnappers anchored their ships. Remember that. What to do? First, asking to do trade were some people that can understand a little English. So became middlemen. The Ejagham. Later, that, and that's how they got their way into the hands of those people, and how a lot of the Ejagham people ended up in Cuba, and you'll see the Ejagham culture also. And this household also so rich. The Ejagham people festivities, masquerades, mask, um, through cultural experience and mythology and so forth, a unique language, all kinds of things about the Ejagham that we really need to focus on, because a lot of people, y'all might be closely related to the Ejagham people. This image is something unique. You see the elders have a front seat among the festivities. Smaller babies are in the laps of the elders. The bigger babies are in the rear, and the adults are behind them. This is a unique form of Africanness at its finest in this image. And this is one of the reasons why I chose this image, because it displays how we really saw each other. All right, a festive picture. This sister in the picture is actually bringing something to eat to the people in the area that they are feeding during a festive and a masquerade. As you can see, the onlookers are actually, this image was walking by, but they really didn't care too much about how she was presented. You know, they respected the atmosphere, the opportunity. You don't see them with their tongues out and you know, looking like she was a piece of meat or anything like that. There was a certain level of respect and dignity that went along with this imagery like this. With some help, we're going to look into some aspects of the culture, which I've already mentioned. Yeah. Hold on, my bad. Let me get my volume on.
This is two of the main features of Ejagham culture. secret societies pro-trade in the region. The second is an ancient and indigenous graphic writing system called insibidi that appears on a variety of objects both to convey meaning and simply to decorate and beautify.
Live in the region surrounding the Cross River in southeastern Nigeria and South in West Africa. In the past, the Cross River was an important means of transportation, allowing people to share cultural traditions such as masks and masquerades. Today, modern highways make movement even easier. Two of the main characteristics of Ejagham culture are ritual associations and a graphic writing system. In the past, the ritual associations enforced the law and were influential in controlling trade along the Cross River. Many of these associations were sold to neighboring peoples. People would pay for the rights to perform the masquerades and related songs and dances. Like ritual associations, the graphic writing system called insibidi has spread to neighboring peoples in Africa and to their descendants in Cuba and the U.S. Insibidi is an indigenous African form of writing that may be more than 1,000 years old. It is used to record information, conceal knowledge, describe philosophy, and signify one's identity or status, and it also serves as decoration. Insibidi signs are presented in a variety of ways. Contemporary artists have even appropriated them into modern artworks displayed throughout the world. This skin-covered cap mask depicts a young woman, and while there are no such signs on the face of the headdress, the shape of the hairstyle may be interpreted as insibidi. At important ritual occasions, young women are also decorated with insibidi signs.
That was a little brief synopsis, brother. So let's get back into the presentation. The Accord are an ethnic group in the extreme southeast part of Nigeria, extending eastward and southwest region of Cameroon. So they split between two particular countries, Nigeria and Cameroon, in a corner pocket, as you've seen, drawn out and illustrated on a particular map, at a horn mouth where a lake is. You got to remember, in this particular tropical area, it could be harvested and trade and everything, and I'm going to get into that. Now, the Ejagham languages are spoken by related groups, including the Etong, some groups in the Ekong, such as the Ofatop and the Nadi. Now, I am botching the names, excuse me, I promise I'm going to get better. Some groups in the Ogojo, Ishibori, and the Bensara, Ufua, and the Yaku are the Ejagham have lived closely with the nearby Efek, Ananong, and the Igbo. Remember I said that the Ibibio and the Igbo people, they live very close. There's a reason I keep saying that. Now, we have brothers and sisters who claim to be closely related and linked to the Igbo people. People were in the same facility and area as the Igbo people. Okay, so there's a direct lineage of some type of communication, trade, anything passing by that could be going on between these particular people, where if we actually are studying the region, answers that we have questions to, I mean, we get some of our questions answered, you know, that's floating around, such as this Israelite thing and so on and so forth, which has been debunked. However, the Iko are best known for the Ikiki. Familiar with anything in African spiritual systems, they all have some type of unique headdress that is associated with their spiritual practices and cultural representation. All right. Traditionally, they use the insibidi, it's the ideograms, and we're going to get into that. We're going to see if it's associated with other languages around the continent as well. I tried to illustrate and see if I can, you know, draw a line between a visualization of where this place is. So on the left and the right, we have the Gold Coast, as you can see on the right-hand side, and then the other one, you can't see the Atlantic Ocean, but we're going to try to be exact here. If you look at the map on the left, you can get an exact location of where the Ejagham people were. You see Nigeria, you see Cameroon, you see this corner pocket where they link together and the waters that flow in between. Okay. In this particular region, right in here, okay, Atlantic, is where these people preside, between Nigeria and Cameroon. Now on the right hand side, you'll see a lighted shaded area, and that kind of links them to as well. But you can get the gist of what's going on here based on what we're saying. Are very, very spiritual people. Unlike many colonized areas in West Africa, we see them still practicing their traditional Ejagham spirituality. But in some areas, others follow the converted religion of Christianity.
This video segment addresses the diffusion and survival of Ejagham leopard societies and associated masquerades in the African diaspora. This happened as a result of the transatlantic slave trade to Cuba and parts of the United States.
The African diaspora consists of Africans and their descendants who have moved around the world by force or free will. The numerous cultures that contribute to the diaspora often maintain a cultural connection to a real or imagined homeland in Africa. The production and use of skin-covered masks may have originated among the male leopard society, which was actively traded throughout the Cross River region. The leopard society and some of its traditions later became an element of the African diaspora when the ritual spread to Cuba and North America as a result of the transatlantic slave trade. While skin-covered masks never appeared beyond the African continent, other Ejagham-related traditions did. In Cuba, different types of Ejagham-derived mask performances developed, ranging from sacred activities to folkloric performances. Cubans and Nigerians who immigrated to the U.S. in the 20th century have continued to perform leopard society masquerades and cultural events that honor and expand upon the traditions of their homeland. For many Americans, Africa is our sweet mother, a continent that gave birth to cultural traditions that now flourish in many parts of the world.
We're going to break it all the way down. We're going to get into it, guys. All right. So in this last video, you heard him mention the leopard society. And this image is an actual representation of the leopard society figurine here, dancing in the middle. That's how they would dance. That's how they would look in their presentation. And that's how they would masquerade around during these particular festivals. These were a unique group of people who practiced in secrecy a lot of things that were culturally representative of themselves. Now, in major institutions, Neem Ejah Nigby established power prestige by mastering arcane signs of sacred presence and recollections of the founding rulers and, most importantly, women. Another image in a masquerade. You can see the mask. Kofi, you see the mask. Very unique to our people. The mask is a representation. It has unique meaning. You will see this all throughout the presentation. Mask, different types. Keep popping up. Traditional Ejagham deities are listen closely, Abasi Asa, the sky god, and Abasi, earth god. So we have the sky god and the earth god, similar to the Ifek. Ancestors and natural forces are also emphasized in Ikor, which is the Ejagham worship. Various Ikor cults are devoted to the welfare of common activities such as farming. Before the establishment of the British colonial administration, the Igbo prominent Ikor secret society or Ejagham secret society that had strong social regulatory functions as well as influence in religious matters. Used the form of graph writing called Nsibidi. Variations are found among other ethnic groups in southeastern Nigeria. Again, during a masquerade, the images speak for themselves. The Ikor practice traditional medicine and have treated such diseases as smallpox with local medicinal plants. In addition to displaying extensive knowledge of aesthetics, appreciation for flowers, The Ejagham created mural paintings and sanctuaries, make pottery, carve figures, bosset. You know what that is, blocks. They are also known for their large skin-covered mask. I keep going back to the mask because it has unique meaning in the cultural practices of our people. Spiritual blanket. This blanket has significant meanings, not only because of the patterns, but other things that they held sacred to a belief in their cultural practices. Christianity was brought to the Ejagham people by the way of the British colonizers and missionaries who wanted the coast looking to teach the people about this new savior and learn the ways of the native practices. What missionaries learned while in the area that the Ejagham people was the whole country was honeycombed with secret societies. In the introduction, I actually made mention, and I did this with the intent of being able to elaborate, that the European docked in a specific area. This will be a docking presence where they will get out and try to commence trade among people, using the people that they first came through as middlemen to negotiate trade with others. Of negotiating trade, they sent missionaries. They sent robbers. They sent whoever that they actually could find to learn more about these people that had these practices, areas that were pretty much held back from other people that they were used to running into while they were capturing and kidnapping. So they wanted to know more, and what they learned in the process, of what they come to find out in the process, that it had numerous secret societies and a unique writing skill and language. Many have wondered about the Ejagham people, whose history dates back to over 1,000+ years. Due to their artistic expression and cultural practices, there is still a lot to learn about them. Many Westerners believe that Africans are traditionally impoverished culturally, and we do not possess the ability to establish a rich history. Through the written script of the Ejagham people, we find that incivility not only proves the Westerners wrong, it raises the bar for the African.
Nse ka m bịa vidio maka ọ dị ndị jụrụ m ka m bịa dewezie nsibiri otu esi ede nsibiri njikọ ọrụ ji kọ ihe ọ pụtara n'asụsụ bekee bụ unity, togetherness, njikọ njikọ ikewezie nsibiri ndị a nke a bụ aka agụ wee ihe ha na-eji ede ọwụ nsibiri n'onwe ya. Nsibiri n'onwe ya dị iche, aka agụ dị iche, ọ na-atụgharị ha. Nkewezie akara ndị a ha ga-efụta aka agụ ọ dịghị ihe ọ fụtara naanị nnu. Nke ọzọ bụ ji dịka jide ji ihe nke fọtọrọ kọ dịka nga jikọ ihe kọ na asụsụ Igbo ọ na-apụta itikọta ihe. Biko okwu ka dị m n'ọnụ, m ga-eme vidiyo nke ka dịwa ngwa ngwa ngwanụ nkụzi ya agụla. Ihe bụ iji ji ihe
All right, we just had a look at this writing script that was very unique to the Ejagham people. And he basically wrote out, as you can see to the right, it was unity and togetherness. Now, the other stuff, we couldn't understand what he was saying because he was speaking his lingo. However, we could understand that whatever he wrote down on that piece of paper meant unity and togetherness. Here are some other images and sacred writings in the Ejagham culture. They were very meticulous about their signs and symbols. Nsibiri, the Chibi, and the Chibidi is a system of symbols indigenous to what is now southeastern Nigeria that is apparently an ideographic script. Though we are having, I'm sorry, though there have been suggestions that it includes logographic elements, the symbols are at least several centuries old. Early forms appeared on excavated pottery as well as what are most likely ceramic stools and headdress from the Calabar region within a range date of 400 to 1400 CE. The Nsibidi writing of the Ejagham people, and here are some examples. You see what love and unity is, if you really can see this from your screen. Hatred and divorce, word, speech, meeting, congress, mirror, reflection, peep game on mirror and reflection. It's some, different type of mirrors. So it's kind of, that writing script was real good. Now look at table set for drink and meat. How unique it was. You pretty much just draw a table, kind of, sort of, put some things on top of it. That would mean table set for whatever you're having. All right. It was unique, and it is unique for its people. Now go back to Congress, which is the second. You see, it's a circle, and then lines out of a circle, and then a circle outside of that circle, or without a circle, or some with two circles. All right. Ubuntu. Y'all remember that? In African culture, they come together in a circle to express unity and togetherness. A Congress. I hope somebody out there following me on that, of what that Congress, those symbols represent. Journey, it would basically be like street lines and arrows, tracks. All right. Now, including the Ejagham developed a unique form of ideographic writing, signs representing ideas called Nsibidi, signs embodying powers, including the essence of all the valiant, just, and ordered. Nsibidi means cruel letters. Nsibidi is seen as a writing system as justifiable terror of government. The signs represent the core principles and prestige of its people that reflect a way of life only unique to the area. Signs represent the core principles and prestige of its people that reflect a way of life only unique. Again, those same examples of Nsibidi. Only unique to the area. It represents. This writing script is purely African and it has no influence by Europeans or Arabs. There are thousands of Nsibidi symbols, of which over 500 have been recorded. They were once taught in school to children. Nsibidi is used on wall designs, calabashes, metals such as bronze leaves, swords, and tattoos, used by the Ekpe Leper Society, secret society, also known as the Negbi or the Igbo, which is found across Cross River among the Ikor Effect Igbo people and other nearby people. This from Theophilo Banga, his book President Africana. Okay, you can't really see it because I had to stretch it. The image correlation between the Nsibidi script and the Egyptian script. He's trying to show some similarities between the two. Now, I'm not making an argument and saying that this evolved from the Sesh. I am only saying similarities in the writing scripts. The Ejagham people lived in a patrilineal society where kinship is passed down from the father. However, the women are very prominent and established. The women have engaged in agriculture, raising yams, plants, and corn, maize. Women also fish, and both men and women participated in weaving.
This video segment shows the important position women hold in the Ejagham culture. This is reflected in their mask headdresses and masquerades. The background song is called Mother Africa by Prince Nico, a famous contemporary musician from the Cross River region in West Africa.
Sweet mother, I never forget you. What is suffer when you suffer for me? Mother Africa. The late Prince Nico, a world-renowned musician from the Cross River region of Nigeria in West Africa, was a member of the Ejagham people. His most famous song, Sweet Mother, emphasizes the importance of women in his culture.
This skin-covered headdress, or cat mask, was made by an Ejagham artist for a masquerade. It not only depicts a woman, it may actually have been worn by a woman. While masquerades in Africa are typically performed by men, women have their own masquerades in the Cross River region. Among the Ejagham people, masks appear at funerals, initiations, secret rituals, and other important events. Blending art, ritual, dance, and theater, these masquerades are one of the most beautiful public displays of ritual associations.
Ejagham masquerades have been adopted by other ethnic groups in Africa, and today they are also performed in parts of Cuba and the United States.
Excuse me. Go back. We see some royalty going on in this particular image. The one in the middle is a bride. She is getting ready to get married. The women uniquely go through their spiritual practices and their secret societies as well. And then they are represented by their sisters and sisterhood when they come out and they get ready to get married. And the festivities begin. Before colonial times, the Kikum Ejagham developed the Mbogo Nadim Association, which modified the seclusion for firstborn daughters. According to myth, the first Mboga Nadim fell from the sky into a large Mbomo tree. She wore strange dance attire and spoke to them in a language they did not understand. It could be argued that the more Ejagham women, like their men, devoted themselves to creative consciousness and Elam, the more they liberated themselves from subservience and came into their own. Oh boy. Look at this mask. Out of ignorance, if you did not know anything about the African culture and diaspora, you would think this is satanic worship. This mask is actually being worn by someone during a masquerade, and it has clear-cut representation of goodness. It was very old and revered tradition of a race. It is old as the family institution and communal life of the people. The Nakim institution is the molding and training ground for the approved Ejagham women and mother. It compromises the initiation, grooming, beautification, circumcision, and presentation of performance, and in most cases, Bethra. All right. So earlier we had seen the sisters surrounding their sister in they surrounded her, and in front of a group of people they performed their dance and their rites of passage, so to say. Ejagham women are considered the bearers of civilizing gifts. They even had their own institution separate from the men where they can be taught and the essentials of values of what being a woman meant in their society. Their fatting houses also allowed them to be creative culturally. It is here where the famous dance, the Kim dance, is taught. And this dance is very unique to this particular culture. So let's see how the sisters represent.
Kim is a maiden dance of the Ejagham-speaking people of Cross River State, notably Ejagham and Etung local government areas of the state. The dance steps are performed by maidens who come out of their fattening rooms after a certain period of confinement. They wear colorful fabrics and beads which show the beauty of a woman. The beads are worn round their waist and necks. These ornaments enhance the beauty of the maiden. The white chalk and red camel is also used prominently by the maidens as part of their traditional makeup. Kim is performed during coming of age ceremonies and special occasions.
Now, at the end, you heard us say that this is performed during special occasions and basically their rites of passage and so forth. But these sisters are unique. All go out. They're virgins. They all go out away from the men, and they go through their rites of passage the way that they do. Some people have a problem with one thing that actually happens in their, when they are circumcised or whatever. They don't like that, and I understand that, from a woman's perspective, over here in the West, the way that they view that, and they see that as harming to that lower part region. But it's a part of their culture and has been for a long time. Here's some more images out there representing this song and dance, going through their ceremonies and their becoming. The Ejagham dance is often performed by maidens and young women with male musicians and communal participation, as you heard. The Ejagham is most often a maiden who has come of age and goes in for circumcision and seclusion for a period between 3 to 6 months, depending on the finances and circumstances. Also applicable to married women who have put to birth for the first time without the requisite know-how from home management and/or motherhood. As you can see, they're very, very festive people. They get it in. All right. They are taught how to sing and dance, the Mokim dance, as well as cook and take care of home. The outing ceremony is a very graceful and seductive Mokim dance performance. It is also the exhibition of the effect of the seclusion and care that has given the maiden or young women during the period camping away from public glare and interactions. They are made to look well, good, and robustly circulate before being given out in marriage to set the standard for the maintenance and care for their daughter and the marital home. The Kim institution, therefore, produces a well rounded home and community by providing the basic training for its members. Rites of passage. Those are the sisters that have went through that and coming out and are getting ready to get married, right? Okay. Now, the Ejagham society, polygamous marriages are a custom. A man that wishes to marry an equal woman has to serve her people for a period of 2 to 3 years, which is a form of basically, to say dowry payment because I'm quoting. For example, he can help clear bushes for a few seasons. He is also expected to give gifts depending on his ability. The bride's acceptance of the bridegroom wedding gift must be followed by public proclamation of the marriage before the chiefs and the people after bail has been run around the town for the purpose. You gotta wait 2 to 3 years, man. You gotta serve these people, her parents. If you don't have the money, that's your down payment. See what I'm saying? Over here, we just jump the broom. We just do whatever we want to do because we just think that that's cool. We have adapted to one's culture over here. But we used to court and do the things that were necessary to show that we actually wanted our women. We don't do them no more. We ain't got to. Just cut on the song or something. All right, so here are images of people who were recently married. Look how they are treated among their people. They look like royalty in their garbs. As you can see, the women are well taken care of. So passes, they are ready to serve their man, themselves, and their community. And he is ready to serve her as well. Fun facts. Food taboos. There was particular food that they didn't like to eat. So they stuck to what they stuck to. We talking about West Africa. Yams. Come on now. That's how they getting thick, like it. Yams. You know? When someone is sick and men and women diagnose the situation. So if I'm sick, you know, a female just couldn't come in and diagnose me. The man had to be present to back her up, or vice versa. Burials happen usually within 24 hours of death. Okay? They didn't let the body sit and linger a week, 2 weeks, or none of that. They respectfully buried the dead. They had very unique initiation practices. They're going through the illustrations of the videos. Women embodied an artistic expression that blew the European mind. Now, when you watch a couple of videos and you see them in that song and dance, it's very easy to blow the European mind because the first thing they thinking about our women was their lower hinds, you know, their uniqueness, their sex appeal, the way they embodied themselves and carried themselves. Oh, that was such a turn on. It is the elder women who enforce rule. I didn't say men. I said the elder women enforce rule. Female headpieces represented respect. So when you saw that image of any of the masks and it goes on a woman, their headdresses represent respect. If you see a woman today in America, where, you know, what do you think of when you see their headdress? Because it's usually a wig or some type of weave. You don't get a, you know, you don't think of respect when you see that. Women use a decorative writing script as well. The Nsibidi was not the only writing script in use. Their own decorative writing system distinguished for themselves, where they can interpret things that they need to in order to communicate amongst each other without anyone else knowing. Remember, these people are known for secret societies. Culturally, masquerades are traditional, the oldest cultural practices throughout African history. We're on these masks again, Kofi. Look at the imagery and the uniqueness. Lisa asked the question earlier about where did they get the skin. Okay, the bark of a tree Very seldom animal skin, but you can take a look and see the images real closely how they would do things. They were very unique in creating their mask out of anything. To the far left, you see that's straight up wood. Look how good they did out of wood. Blanket again. This was a unique ceremonial practice that was going on, and you see the sacred blanket is out. It has unique meaning, and the brothers are carrying it on down the way. Very spiritual. Salute to the Leper Society. This is an image of a brother that is a part of the Leper Society.
Saying Sean, what was that the last slide that was was that a funeral rite? What was that?
This is not a funeral rite at all. This is part of the masquerading that went a long time. As you can see, the
Okay.
person in front of this particular thing, yeah. So this blanket was a very spiritual blanket, and it had unique resemblance to the people. And culturally speaking, these signs and symbols on the blanket are what made this blanket so unique and wrapped around it. Now, inside of that could be some people coming out getting ready to dance.
Okay, because I asked because of the signs, because I it kind of remind me of the drinker signs. I touched on that
Yeah, yeah,
So that's why I asked.
yeah. But not spiritual. It's spiritual and cultural to them, but it has a just a slight difference in meaning for them. And then as long as you can see somebody standing in front with that stick in their hand and their mask, and masqueraded in their unique garbs, that's kind of how things go with them. So I wanted to end the presentation right there. And of course, after the leopard man, I wanted to give you my references that I've been trying to get Kofi to get, which is at the top. And I'm gonna leave this right here because I know he wrote it down the last time we were book flexing on his very first show that I was a part of with the brother Asar and himself. And I really need Kofi to get this book, Flash of the Spirit, African and Afro-American Art and Philosophy. Kofi.
I'm a fact, brother. When we get off of here today, man, I'm gonna order the book today. I need to get it to. I'm gonna need to get it ASAP, so I'm gonna get it to. And y'all thumbs up the video, man. And brother,
I
man,
think
he.
hold on, I got some more sources.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, sources. What got me going into this direction with the Ejagham People was the first book. The first book led to other information. I'm saying, Kofi, you got to get this book because there's some information in there that you could actually sit back and you can build upon, and especially with what you're working on, your presentations, what you're studying, the cultural practices, and what's going on in West Africa. Now I know we do more than just West Africa. We study Kemet. That's our first love. We study Kemet, but we got to give it up to our to where we actually come from.
Right.
And a lot of us we come directly from West Africa. Now, Kofi, you from how close are you to Vicksburg?
About an hour and something about an hour from Vicksburg,
Okay,
or a little less.
a little less.
Mm-hmm.
You can find in Vicksburg these blankets being made that you seen covering that box at the end. Some people in the Vicksburg, Mississippi area, and also in Georgia. There's a lady that that is referenced Robert Thompson's book, Flash of the Spirits. Her name is Amanda Gordon in Vicksburg. She's a black quilt. She makes those quilts. You'll find some quilt makers like this in Waverly, Alabama, that make these quilts that are indigenous to the Ejagham people. And they make them, these quilts, with spiritual and cultural remembrance and help and honor and all of that stuff. But
I'm gonna
yeah,
have to get this sister name again, man. Before we get up off here, man. I'm gonna have to go down there, man.
in Vicksburg,
I say it's not far. It's an hour or a little less than an hour. It may be like 45 minutes from me. I'm just giving it like an hour. I'm a slow driver.
yeah, they're called Lucinda Toomer of Dawson, Georgia, Gordon of Vicksburg. And if you in Alabama, there's a lady, Susie Pons, a quilt maker of Alabama, Waverly, Alabama. You also see these images and stuff, not only in Cuba, but in Haiti as well. Yep. But yeah, man, I
I got
appreciate the opportunity to be able to present this information about the Ejagham people. Hopefully, we all learn something. As always, a learner, and I'm just thankful to be on here, man, on your platform. You've been getting it in. You've been real busy on your platform, so I'd just like to thank you, man, for having me.
man. I appreciate you for being on it. Back on the show, man. And like I say, man. As I learn, we all learn, man, and that's what we doing. We learning things, man, and we sharing information. And my platform, TV ain't just for me. Be on my platform sharing information. We should be all on here sharing information and learning from one another, man. I wanna, if you don't mind, man, I wanna read something out of uh, seeing I'm in my Aunt Rob book. A lot of you familiar with oh, I don't know if you're familiar with his work, but I know a lot of y'all are friends with him on Facebook. And he has a few texts out. I think he has 4 books. I got all his works, and this is like his latest work he put out. I think back in 2006. And you touched on the Nitsabisi um thing, and in here he was talking about the mask. Actually, he was talking about Jehuti, a Jehuti. Where he was talking about, we know one form of Jehuti is the Ibis mask, the Ibis head, and another form is the baboon mask or the baboon head. So he talks about the baboon head being the baboon iconograph Jehuti had been imported to East Africa. This is Africa, and the baboon head represents wisdom. When we know Jehuti represents wisdom, intelligence, and so forth. And he has here Jehuti is often depicted as a baboon in Egypt text, and it is a very fascinating because the Iko people, you mentioned them, the Ibibo and the Igbo people of Nigeria use the script composed of symbols called Nisabitis. You've been showing that all through. There are thousands of Nitsabisi symbols. You showed a bunch of those a while ago with the sacred cloth that was out a while ago, and which over 500, you showed that in your script too, have been recorded, in some that deals with welfare and the spiritual realm secret. According to their legends, the Nitsabisi script was taught to them by baboons. This is just a legend. It was a legend that the Nitsabisi script was taught by taught to them by these people in Nigeria, was taught to them by the baboon. And again, the baboon intelligence. It represents intellect, and it represents wisdom. Huti represents when we talk about it in Kemet, which they refer to as the Idikos, the Nisabiti symbols in Nigeria, and they are used on wall designs, calabash, bottom goers. You talked about that on different metals such as bronze, swords, tattoos. Nisabiti primarily used by the EP Leopard Secret Society. I think you mentioned you mentioned them in your slide too, didn't you, Sinshan? Society, Sinshan.
Till. Yep.
Okay. And I'm just reading some things, just validating some stuff that you were saying, and in another text, which is found across the state, cross rivers of southern Nigeria among the Iko, the Ife, the Igbo people, and nearby Black African peoples associated with writing wisdom of Nigeria. So the baboon is not just only associated with writing wisdom in North Africa or in Kemet. It is also in West Africa as well, in Nigeria. The baboon was represented wisdom, writing and wisdom, which we know Jehuti is represents that in Nigeria, and also Kemet as an animal form of the nature Jehuti. So I just wanted to read that because you talked about the Nisabisi script a lot um, a while ago. So I just wanted to reiterate some things that you said that was in a different text that this brother has in his book. And this is a great book for those that want to, read an excellent text. This is a great text. It's full of a lot of information. I think it's about 100 pages, maybe. Yes, about 400 and some pages in him, but it's a nice book and it doesn't cost that much. And again, it's by our brother Amin Ma'at Ra. Like I say, a lot of us is friends with him on Facebook. It is called the Amin Ra Illusions of Volume 1. So go support that brother as well. This is a great text. Um, you talked about the mask too, man. You actually like presentation up as well when you talked about the different masks, and just with the presentation you just talked about these people, because I study uh 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 that region too, far as Nigeria, and I didn't even know about these people that you just talked about, but you just shared a few masks because I'm working on a presentation on the mask, and you just gave me some information. Well, I'm gonna go tonight and do some research on and implement some of the stuff that you talked about in here, and I I'm gonna clip your voice and put a video, a clip of what you kind of talked about on information with the mask. Also, if that's not gonna be a problem with me using video of
Yeah.
your
Nah, it's
presentation.
okay. Man, this your channel. This your channel, man. Do your thing, man.
Yeah, but I just wanted to ask, but I mean, you just kind of set my thing up with the presentation. Since that Lisa had asked, which was a good question. I wanted to wait till you got through building, and you already answered the question already um, about the materials of the mask made, because the mask was made out of different materials, and she was kind of concerned with the skin, but you already. So I'm gonna kind of re-elaborate on that um, Monday, because I'm gonna do a presentation. The presentation called uh, "Mask is Ma- Mask is an African way of life." So, which it is, those masks are in all. If you study any of the African systems, the mask is always incorporated with other numerous things. So, I appreciate, man, you coming on, man, and like I said, sharing some information, because again, I learned something today, and I hope the family learned something today. I hope they appreciate the presentation that you appreciated. I took like a lot of notes. I wrote down a lot of stuff that I'm gonna go tonight and research and look at. I'm gonna use, I'm gonna even incorporate some of the masks, because I already kind of got my formula down with the masks I was gonna use from I'm not gonna just stick in just West Africa. I'm gonna kind of touch all the particular areas in Africa dealing with the mask, but I'm definitely gonna use the Ejagham, if I'm saying the name right, mask, and I'm actually gonna do some more research on those people too, man, because you brought out some good information. You the similarities between them with the Nisibisi and their script uh, with Kemet, but also with the Akan people, with the Adrika symbols. You know what I'm saying, and what the meanings of the Adrika symbols, so forth, with uh, those symbols that was on their cloth a while ago, man. So you, man, for being on the channel, man. I really do. Great. I mean, a great, excellent presentation. If anybody else got any more questions in the chat, type them in the chat if you got some questions for our brother Any Harret Sean Calfunny. Thumbs up, man. Give a thumbs up to the video, man. We ain't got, but we got 2 thumbs up. We got 2 thumbs up. We got 9 people while ago in here watching.
Nah, man, we got 11.
Okay,
We got
okay.
we got
So
11 thumbs.
we need 11 thumbs up. I mean, this brother did an excellent presentation today, man. I mean, we all learned something because we all don't know it all, man. Like I say, man, I just learned something from these people, and I've been studying in this region for a little while. Across these people, so I just learned something today and learned something about their culture, learned something about their rites of passage, learned a little bit more about their symbols that they use, the certain type of material that they use for their masks, even the masquerades. I didn't even know about their masquerades, so I learned a lot today. So please thumb the video up, man. You know we need it. You know we need them thumbs up, man. See if anybody got any more chat. What's the name? Questions. Nobody got any what's the name, but everybody's saying excellent job, good work. Um, and let me shout out everybody that's in here right now, man. I appreciate everybody that's coming on and watching. So, Saneb, peace to Chris Woods, peace to um, Mac Tips, peace to Sinet Lisa, peace to Asai M. Ka, peace to Nasir, peace to Melanie Goddess, and that's about all we have on here right now that actually commented, really. So we appreciate, man. I appreciate you for coming on and to the platform and taking y'all time out. I appreciate you, seeing Sean, man, for coming on, man, and doing an excellent presentation. Nobody else got anything else to any more questions? Let me see what she say. Desire the perfect body nowadays. Oh, okay, yeah, she's talking about the body type style. Okay. So
Yeah,
we
you
gonna go
remember
through.
the presentation?
Say what now?
I didn't mean to cut you off. Remember in the presentation they talked about the way that the women look or appeal to the men in the particular culture. They made sure that they're well fed and well. So yeah, she was talking about how the women look appearance to their culture and how they look. They didn't look like the ideal skinny, bony, where they were like I said in the presentation, they were they were basically, let's just sum it up and say they were thick. They were well put together. They embodied and symbolized themselves as goddesses, and they carried that flow. So uniquely and with a lot of confidence, you saw the skin of these women. So yeah, I mean, ideally, that are craving a sister in the image of a Barbie doll or in the image of a then hey, more power to you. But hey, I'm sticking with what Africa love.
That's right.
Cornbread.
That's right. And they look. I like them thick too. I like them thick. Um, But if nobody got, I'm looking in the chat. Nobody else got any more comments for you, man. We gonna end the show. Again, I appreciate everybody for tuning in and watching, checking out the show and checking out the presentation from my good brother here, man. Seeing Sean, you got any words before we close out the show?
Yeah, I just want to say dua to the family. I appreciate you for giving me the opportunity to present on your channel and actually to fill some big shoes because Brother Ben is in my eyes, Brother Ben, and coming behind or trying to replace Brother Ben is hard to do because I've said and I've watched Brother Ben live information and I get a thrill out of watching him work. So I can't wait till he's able to present on your channel. Hopefully, whenever that works itself out. Much respect to the brother. I know it's had to be done and taken. He had to take care of that situation or whatnot. But I'm honored. I am humbled by it. Be a member of the SESU where we, connected and we've been building ever since. And I appreciate your patience and your help and your conversation and the things that you do throughout the day, man. So to the ancestors, and Shimon Hotel for me.
No doubt, man. Supposed to be on the show next Saturday. I don't have a time for the show yet, but he's Brother Ben's gonna be on the show next Saturday. So I'll let people know know when I'm gonna do that. Tuesday, I'm gonna have a sister on the show. I'm gonna be it, but I'll let y'all know. Monday I'll be doing again. Mass is African life, way of life. Monday. I don't know what time I'm gonna do that, but I'll let the family know on that. But again, man, I appreciate you for being on the show. And on that note, I want to say, Shimim Hotep, a bet to the family. And appreciate you all for tuning in to the show. Peace.